Hi, welcome. My name is Jacob Monk, and welcome to this little video about an American war criminal called John MacCain. This person, he died recently, and I think this is a good thing seen from the standpoint of good people and people in the third world. Also from God and from all people who want countries to be able to be independent from USA, because John McCain had the idea that every country in the world should be run from Washington by the American government, and if one single government didn't follow the American orders, then he would send the rockets, the bombing machines, and the soldiers. You know about some countries he has destroyed. The last one is Syria. We also remember Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and a number of other countries he has supported being destroyed. Actually, this warmonger, this psychopath, John McCain, he is personally the reason for the death of thousands of people. Here you have him showing off with an American soldier. You know, John McCain, he always bragged about being an ex-pilot, being imprisoned in North Vietnam. Well, that is right. His airplane was shot down. We are glad about that. But he was kept as a VIP person for several years in North Vietnam. He lied about he had been in a cave there were fences for the windows, and he was tortured. These are all lies. This is a part of his propaganda campaign trying to be American president. John McCain was a personal coward, and he was a lunetic when it comes to politics. And unfortunately, his personal viewpoints, they had the result that many thousands of people in the countries I've just mentioned, they are dead now. Well, let's see here. I have a figure. I didn't make it myself. I'm taking it from a website called bennorton.com. You can check it out yourself. Here, all the countries you see here with red, it is the countries that John McCain wanted to invade. Well, dark red, it is the countries that has been actually attacked. And the middle red here is countries he really wanted to invade. And the light red countries is the countries he wanted to invade too, but he was too afraid to do it because of their pattern of allies and because of their weapons. Here you have a list of all the countries that John McCain wanted to invade. Some of them the American military actually did invade. Here you have Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Kosovo, Nigeria, Bosnia, North Korea, Iran, Russia. Oh, sorry, I did something wrong. Take a little. Well, sorry for the short interruption, the little break. I had a technical issue. But here you see the list of countries that John McCain wanted to invade. Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Kosovo, Nigeria, Bosnia, North Korea, Iran, Russia, Sudan, Mali, China. Yeah, this man was a complete psychopath, a lunatic. And here you have a video. I don't want to show you all of the video, but it is John McCain campaigning for starting up a bombing campaign against Iran. Well, that could easily be the start of the Third World War, but I suppose that John McCain, he didn't care. And here you have pictures with John McCain and the leader of the Nazi party in Ukraine. Well, he is called Andrei Parubi. He was a close friend of John McCain, who many times visited the right-wing Nazi people in Ukraine. Here you have him talking to a meeting, and the man to the right, he is known as being a leader of this right-wing party and right-wing military section of the army, and I've seen him on several meetings where he did the Nazi sign. He's identified with Adolf Hitler and with the Ukrainian participants on the Hitler side in Second World War. Well, John McCain, here you see him once again with the Nazis of Ukraine. And here you see him giving the idea to Obama that they have to send assault weapons and heavy weapons to Ukraine. That would probably be the start of a big war. Yeah, and I have another website about John McCain. It is here, but you see the same list about countries he wanted to attack. So I'll end up with this geopolitic alert. The history of John McCain's call for war. Well, it is said that he was a foreign policy expert. Well, if you say attack, 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 bump, 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 does it mean that you are a foreign policy expert? Well, maybe according to American standards, but not according to international standards. He wanted to attack Afghanistan and Iraq. Well, he did succeed in attacking Afghanistan, and still today, many years after the American invasion of Afghanistan, the American soldiers are there, and there have been no progress at all. I repeat, no progress at all. Besides that, thousands and even more thousands of people, Afghan people, have been killed. Iraq, it is destroyed too. They can say thank you to John McCain, and also the guy here to the right, John Bolton. He was an affiliate of John McCain. They have the idea that the whole world belongs to USA, and USA has a moral right to destroy any country who don't want to be a colony of USA, and to kill any person who don't want to be a subordinate to the American people, the American soldiers, and the American government. Well, you could always also say every person that does not believe in the Hollywood picture of the world, the Hollywood culture, according to the guy here, John Bolton and John McCain, these persons should not just be killed. Libya, you know, they killed thousands of people, and now it is total anarchy. We have West and Central Africa. They haven't been able to create an economic functioning sector anywhere, because the only thing America wants to help with is with soldiers and bombs. Iran, well, we can be proud to say that Iran has not been invaded yet, but the stupid American President Donald Trump, he has imposed a lot of sanctions against Iran, just as he has imposed sanctions upon Russia and China and Europe and a lot of other countries. Well, the Americans, they want to rule the world. and the psychopath John MacCain was one of their ideological forefathers for this standpoint. Bosnia and Kosovo, the Americans, they invaded to cut off Serbia, to cut off a big part of Serbia so they could have their own independent state, being affiliated with Albania, and this is called Kosovo, this old part of Serbia. It has been a part of Serbia for nearly 1,000 years, but the Americans want them to be separate. Well, how stupid can you be when the American wants Kosovo to be separate from Serbia, and they think this is legal? Why don't they want Crimea to be separate from Ukraine? Well, in Crimea, they had a vote with 98% voting for being a part of Russia, not of Ukraine. But the Americans don't accept that. That is the kind of stupidity and double standard that John MacCain is the spokesman for. Russia, of course, every stupid person in the world knows what Russophobia is. They are actually Russophobians. And of course, Judge MacCain was a Russophobian person too. His knowledge from Russia, I suppose it come from visiting the Steven Spielberg cinemas, Steven Spielberg movies from the later years, being about Second World War and other historical subjects. I believe John MacCain, he thought that the Americans defeated Nazi Germany. Well, I'm sorry to say they did not. Americans, they killed less than 5% of the German Nazi soldiers during Second World War. The rest, they were killed by the Russians. And the Russians, they had 27 million people killed during the World War. The Americans had around 200,000. So it's much less than 1% of the effort that comes from USA. But USA has so much money that they believe they can buy honor for themselves, and therefore the few deeds they do, they make a lot of Hollywood movies about them. Of course, North Korea, they are not allowed to have their own independent development way. That was a basic standpoint of John MacCain and also of Donald Trump, I'm sorry to say, and the same with China. So John MacCain was a very stupid and a very dangerous person. I think all decent people in the world, we are happy that he is not here anymore. I don't believe he could have the moral status for being given entrance to heaven. I hope not. I think he's a candidate for hell, but I'm lucky to say I'm not God, so I'm not the one to judge. But I'm quite sure in the end, in the afterlife, there will be justice. Also justice for John MacCain. So I believe where he will be going. But in this life here, he was very stupid and made America look absolutely foolish because he had a high political post in Washington, and therefore he was some kind of representative of the right-wing America. And this is a disgrace for modern civilization. Thank you for listening.